Welcome back, all you beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. Welcome to the Olga S Pérez show. I'm your host, Olga. How you doing? Well, it's snowing in my neck of the woods. How's the weather where you're at? Yeah. We are affected by the weather, right? And I don't even know why. We're live, right? So this is not scripted, but anyone out there thinking that maybe the weather has been manipulated? I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, let me not get off track. I'm sure you've already heard, been seeing some stuff about the WEF. I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share one little thing just for shits and giggles because somebody's got to bring some light to the situation, right? So thank you for being here. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about the WEF. I'm going to talk about local small businesses and maybe a few other things, but I think we're going to have a lot to chew on that. And then I'm not sure I'm going to do a reaction video today because I've noticed that even when I keep saying timestamps, people, timestamps, when people are looking for like reaction videos, they want it like immediate or whatever. Like we get it. We get it. We get it. You get it. I get it. You get it. I get it. We get it. So I'm thinking I'll just save the reaction video for tomorrow. Like just purely just do a reaction video tomorrow. And what you might ask will it be? Well, I got some interesting stuff. Dax came out with something. One of you, I believe one of my members on my locals, become a locals member if you haven't already, because it's really the only way you can truly support me. And it's not just support me and support my work. I get it. Everyone's always asking for money, like everyone. Big guys, little guys, middle guys. I mean, I get it. But like I'm telling you, I don't know. It's hard because even when I want to support people, I'm like, but whose content do I really watch more often? Or whose content I don't want to disappear? Things like that. I mean, you think about it. Buy me a coffee. A coffee's always good. And everything you do is completely sponsoring this channel, this live stream. No doubt about it. But give me a second. I'm like, I'm a little all over the place today because, like I said, this is not scripted, but I'm like, it's been a hot minute. I had a lot going on. If you want to know what's been happening to me, it's over on Locals, baby. And for all you Locals members and members here on this channel, I thank you more than you'll ever know how much it matters, how much it means. Okay, well, for those who are new, awesome to have you. And if you've been here before, welcome back, my love. So, yeah, I will provide timestamps later on if that's important to you and all the topics and the subjects we're talking about. But I don't know what's going. Okay, if you knew what's going on with me, you would know why I'm a little off. Again, go to Locals. I don't want to repeat myself, especially if you don't give a shit. But maybe you do, and you should, because there's an explanation for everything. But yeah, so there's a lot of, it's not just the new Dax drop. I want to do more Liliac. There's a lot of things that I want to do. So let's see how it's going to happen and in what order. For now, I'm not going to be able to stick to schedule. So stay tuned and click the all notification bell. And if you're just happy to see me, smash that like button. Support small business over here. It makes a difference. Even when they're shadow banning me, because it's true. It's not just shadow ban. It's like also they just, it's like Dimash. I know a lot of you that have subscribed to my channel, you're not into an artist like Dimash or his music. But there's a lot of people in the world that are. So then all of a sudden, once that video takes traction, that's all I get. You know what I'm saying? So everyone else that is into all the other artists that I've been doing, or just because you love joining me a live stream to talk about current events, news. You get my drift. It pushes out and it basically hides me. So regardless of whether it's shadow banned. But like I said, for those who are new, the party's got to get started once you know who you're dealing with over here. I'm not just a regular person reacting. And the party starts now. Hi, I'm Olga S. Pérez, coming at you live, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. I've been a life strategist for over 20 years, and I'm here to share my insights on trending topics, current news, and music videos that we all want to talk about with love and humor. What's up? I hope my energy is infectious in a good way. I mean, like that I made you smile, that I perked you up. You know what I mean? That's truly my purpose, to make people smile, to bring joy in any way that I can. It's truly priceless. And I will be sharing a video of someone else that I just found. I've never heard of this person, but I love this story. I'm going to share it with you guys. Besides the WEF and the bullshit. Okay, but before I go there, who's with me? I want to say hi to everyone. Who's with me? I am live on X, aka Twitter, Rumble, and right here on the boob tube. The Major, I haven't seen you for a hot minute. Welcome. Great to see you. Rocco Branca, much love. So glad you could make it today. The Rational Texan. Everything is manipulated. Much love to you. I love when you guys become members and I can see that you're a member and you got the little star thing and like different color. Just like I love when I get super chats, Rumble rants. Who's with me already on the Rumble? I just found today that I was able to, I didn't have to do this whole like big, copy and paste to get me live on Rumble. It was like, oh, I guess they've updated it. Maybe it's the software I'm using or Rumble in the software, whatever. I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like, oh, now you can see the chat. And it's true. I can see the Rumble chat at the same time I'm seeing the chat, which before I couldn't. I would have to open a separate window. So that's so cool. But one thing I did discover is when I type in the chat right here, right now, while we're live, it shows up on YouTube, but not on Rumble. So there's an issue here. Houston, we got a problem. Yeah, baby. How you doing? Like I said, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? How's your life going? Because I care, okay? I literally do this for a living, to care for people, to help people. Not a shill, not a grifter. Oh, God. I even debated whether I wanted to get into the whole Tim Pool thing. Who has not already seen the Tim Pool thing? And if you've been watching me and you know how I feel about these people, one of them being Tim Pool. But also Candace Owens. I'm telling you, all these people, all these so-called right people, or, conservatives, whatever. They just keep disappointing me because I get it. They don't want to lose their clout or their income. So they don't give a fuck about you. That's in a nutshell. Anyway. Oh, you've been sick for a while, the Major? Oh, I'm sorry. You're getting over pneumonia now? Well, I hope you're doing better. And I'm so glad you could make it. That means you're doing better, right? If you're here. That's awesome. My man, wait, my man, what? Xavier apparently tore the WEF. You mean Malay, Argentina guy? Hold on, because I forget. Is that his first name? Hey, Samahaman. Great to see you. Good evening to you. God bless. That's right. God bless. I got so much shit going on over here. I was just on the phone with a friend and a colleague, and he was like, Olga, seriously, like every time I talk to you, you're like, you got this with your family and this and that and that. And now you're telling me, and then you got this other shit, which again, I already talked about it on Locals. I'm not going to get into it here. And I was totally raw, dude. No makeup, my glasses, hair all messed up. Again, when I do myself up like right now, it's for your pleasure and your pleasure only. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like you can set up a table for dinner with just whatever. And if the food is great and the company's great, it doesn't matter. But it's an added experience, right? If the table's all made up nice with candles and whatnot. You see what, you feel me? So it's like making love. Maybe your partner doesn't have to wear something sexy, but what they do, granted, in my experience, it's like, how can I get that off? How can we get to the goal in mind? Right? You feel me? One more day of antibiotics, the major. Oof. Oh, so I was right. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, and I'm so glad to see you also on Rumble. Rational Texan, the major. Love you guys. No shit. Like, for real. Anyway, I know if you guys have seen me personally, especially on locals. Guys, I cannot wait till we meet in person. My plan is for us to all meet in person one day. God willing, and the money comes through, I will do an event. Man, and if I really can, I'm buying everybody a ticket. Everybody who's a member, you get a fucking ticket to wherever I'm doing my next event. That's a fact. That's not just a promise. It's like a what do they call it? What's the English word? The like a covenant? Is that the right word I'm trying to say? Like it's sealed. It's not just a promise. Okay. Let's get started. Hey, OBI Patriot. What is it? GBU, Olga? What does GB mean? I'm telling you, I'm going through so much shit that literally my brain has been foggy. Like I said, I've talked about it on local, so I'm not going to repeat it here. Oh my God, I just realized that I have my little heating pad still there, which I typically will take it out of the way to make everything more aesthetic. But yeah, that's your girl. I couldn't even move my arm 2 weeks ago. I think I already talked about that. And I'm still hurting, but I can still move it. But like a week or 2 weeks ago, I couldn't even go like this. Like I was like, ah! Talk about a pinched nerve. God bless you too. Thank you, OB Patriot. All right. So let's get into it. So, all right. I'll start with something positive, something because it's very dear to my heart, which is, hold on, let me prep it. Let me screen share because this is what I'm all about. Regardless if you guys enjoy me doing reaction videos, and of course I enjoy it because I love music. And as you know, I love music that matters on top of it, right? So there's nothing fake there. It's just like, that's not my whole thing. Like, that's not, I mean, there's a lot more to me. But yeah, the Olga S. Pérez show is the place to be for me, to be totally myself, where I'm not really working, I don't have to be all professional and serious. You get me. All right. So check this story out. Check this. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Let me push play.
A few years ago, I was going to a concert in Knoxville. I was out in the concession area getting a soda for my wife and me, and this lady comes running up to me with her daughter. She wanted to show me a picture on her phone, and it was a picture of me and her son. And I made a visit to Children's Hospital recently, and that was the picture. She told me that was the last picture that she'd ever taken of her son. And it was with me. So, she wanted to thank me for doing that. The greatest blessing that my career gave me, wasn't the fame and, money and all that stuff. It was the fact that, you have the ability, if you use it, to at least in some little way bring joy to people and touch them emotionally.
Amen.
And
Yes.
that's incredibly powerful. I
Yes.
don't know why I was given that, but it's something that I don't take for granted and something that I value very much. A few years ago, I was going to a concert in Knoxville.
So I'm going, I've never seen this guy before. My boy Ryan Dawson, shout out to him and his X post. And I'm like, Glenn, Jake, nothing. I go like this, as you can see. And I'm like, who is this guy? I used to beat up people for a living. Now I protect their freedom. Hashtag Knox County Mayor, WWE. And I'm like, oh my God. Beautiful, man. So I had to share that because this is really how I roll. I do this. I've been doing this my whole life since I was a child. When I was a kid, and I helped, I remember in fact, true story, again, there's many stories, but my oldest sister, she was dating a guy who, this was in Spain, and he was a Marine. But you wouldn't have known, like maybe even his haircut, like he didn't look or act like the typical Marine. And give me 1 second. And one day he was washing something. I don't know if it was his car. I don't remember because I was like 8, 9 years old. I was like 9 or 10. And I guess he spent all day washing. And again, whether it was his car or his house, something, but he had his hands soaking for so long that he had lodged a piece of lead from a pencil when he was a kid. Like, I believe he told me like he was like 6 years old, and it had gone in there and he could never get it out. And he lived with it all those years, and he was in his 20s. But after he'd been washing all day that day, the skin, started breaking up, and the piece of pencil that was broken in there started to come, like you could see it. And my sister was freaked out and whatnot, and he was trying to get it out. And my sister's like, well, nothing grosses Olga out, and she loves to help, So he goes, Olga, what do you think? And at first, when he did like this with his hand, it was like right here. He was kind of laughing about it, like, oh, it's going to freak you out. I'm like, ooh, let me get that. And I did. And he looks at it, I pull it out, and he was like, I can't believe all these years that lived inside me. And you didn't even blink. But it's not the fact, they weren't as impressed that I wasn't freaked out or grossed out or anything like that. It was the confidence and that sheer spiritual, I guess, just my natural way of, you have a problem, I'm going to help you. I want to fix it. And once I started doing that, not just that day before and therefore after, the immense happiness that I get from helping people, you can't even describe it. I'm telling you, it's just like, for me, that like, what's the purpose of living if it is not to help each other? See, I'm gonna get teary-eyed. You know me. Hold on, I got my tissue. But wanted to share that. That was awesome when I saw that today. That was today. And of course, I saw some WEF bullshit that, of course, I'm gonna get into, just because we're just gonna fucking shine some light, laugh a little bit. But how ironic. There was a bunch of people that posted the exact same video. Here we go. Who hasn't already seen this, right? Because it's like everybody I follow, apparently, they're all talking about it. But I'm like, it's not that we need me to also talk about it, because, I don't like to be an echo chamber. But let's have some fun with this shit. So like this guy, right, Luke, who has been many times, still is on the Tim Pool cast, but he's got his own podcast. Shout out to Luke. He goes, what the hell did I just watch? Right. So that's cool. It's funny. And a lot of people reposted, made their commentary, but I'm going to make my commentary right here live. Okay? Hold on. Let me rewind. Let me make sure you guys can see what I see and make it a little bit bigger, because maybe some of you haven't seen it. And if you have, Make sure to leave your comment, whether you're commenting live or watching the replay. You know your comments are my fuel. Keep them coming. I do read them and I will respond. All right, guys. So let's watch this, and I'm going to break down my reaction / perspective. Here we go. And anybody who understand what this shaman is saying, please let me know. But you know, I work on instinct, so I got my own feelings about this. But she does enough physically. Like, I think we got it here. Okay.
Ang turma chaya na nukambahu anuri nukamai nukamwaka na anuri no yuyuwa na wa shinan vupan que tu shinan chavawa aqui shinan mukikirani tsai chavakirani tsai mukikirani awama wununu no maunu why sharai.
Ooh. Wait, can I just pause and be like, what makes anybody think that this shaman is actually doing something positive? Maybe not. But with the whole crotch 19 bullshit and distancing, I mean, to me, this is just another example of how we shouldn't just be observers. This observation should make us go, I'm done. I'm out. I'm going to be in charge, which is why I'm going to get into another video after this one about local businesses, small businesses, thy neighbor. You know, I always say this, not to beat it to the dead horse. Telling you. Just like you already seen with cancel culture. Okay. Let's finish this. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Look at them. They have no clue what the F is happening here. Look. Like little disciples. Here, my head. It's all an act. Telling you straight up. They don't give a shit. All those people in that panel, all they care about is their narcissistic, self-centered, and I'm saying it nicely, self. Atoma. Come on. See, I'm not, you know what? I should not even try to imitate that shit. Because what am I evoking? I don't know what language a shaman is speaking through. Okay. What'd you guys think about that? The same people. You do this, again, rules for thee, not for me, right? But I'm not highlighting this because, let's point out how messed up these people are. No. My take on this, my message on this is everybody ready to stop playing games? Is everybody ready to go, that's it? It's clear. It's crystal clear. The insanity of the so-called leaders, which I know most of us would fire everybody in our Congress, in our politics. That's a fact. You would. Admit it. You would. What are they doing? Destroying our lives? Making us pay more? See, and that takes me to the next video that I like this guy. I've been following him the last few weeks now because he does a great job. He used to be one of the stockholders or investors in GameStop, and he went through that whole GameStop thing. Anyone remember that whole story with GameStop? That again, just like that guy from, was FTX, right? What happened to him? They kind of talk about him in the news, but where is he? Like, nobody actually gets punished. Everyone gets away with everything. Because here's a video that this guy, so again, I'm going to shout out to him, perfectly so well done. Hold on. That it's like, for those who maybe didn't take the minute, didn't have the time, this is why local. And again, so how many of us, or you, or whoever, goes to Target still these big corporations? Walmart, Dunkin' Donuts, all the corporations. They weren't closed when everyone else was incinerated business-wise. And even if they're convenient type of stores, these corporate stores, these giants, they really bring us no happiness. At all. At all. So, you know what matters to you most, and what really makes you happy is your favorite restaurant, even whether it's a server or a bartender, or whether it's your local church. I mean, think about it. What really ignites you and makes you feel good? It ain't Target. Even when you're thinking, I love going to Target, or I love going to Walmart, or whatever, or Dunkin' Donuts. It does not fill our soul, but it fills their pockets. So even if you love to go to Target, they fill their pockets. Let me watch this. Let me share this with you guys. Let me make sure you can see what I'm seeing. No, here we go. Here we go. Have any of you already seen this guy? This Ian Carroll? Hope I said that right. Again, he's got great videos, but I'm going to share this one today. Moon landing was fake. Cows are a conspiracy theory. All cheese comes from the moon. Cows are actually just a psyop. You heard it here first, folks. They come for me. You know why. Let's watch. I think this is a work of art. Hold on. Here we go.
Ready for the cheesiest video you ever seen? We're doing the cheese aisle. Got Parm, Romano, Old Crock, New Crock, whole cheese flights. Let's go. So if you're new here, we're trying to figure out if these are owned by family-owned businesses or by giant mega corporations. And the cheese aisle might just be the best aisle I've ever done. By the way, I'm at my local grocery store, which was founded by a family that grew up in my town. Me and my homies went to school with their kids, and then they sold to Albertsons. So now it's a mega corporation. And that's why they're carrying Albertsons store brand bullshit cheese, Lucerne, Organics. These ones are mega corporations. But Organic Valley and Tillamook are both farmers co-ops. And no one's ever heard of Rumiano, but they're family owned. Same with Sargento, but they're family owned. Same with Cacique, but they're family owned. So far we turned this into this, because that's just all Albertsons brands. And then we had the sliced cheeses, which was more like this. Then we got our strang cheeses. Oh, snap. I think I did Frigo dirty on my picture. See, they're family owned, but I think I got carried away over here. I think they're hiding in there.
Can you not feel this guy's energy is good? You feel me? It's not just the entertainment. It's not just the quality of the production. And imagine how much time he took to do this. That's why I am sharing this specifically and calling, and shouting him out.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, Frigo. But Galbani is a mega corporation for France, and they're literally called Groupe Lactalis, which just does not sound appetizing. They are the world's largest dairy company. So, that would be Galbani string cheese right there. But then I got bad news. If you like the weird little red cheese circle things, that's Baby Bell, also a French mega corporation. So when we slide on down to the end of the aisle, we got all this Baby Bell cheese up here, along with Polly-O, which I've never heard of. But Polly-O is owned by the Belgioioso family. How do you say that? Belgioioso. Fucking Italians. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, wait. Organic Nuna. These guys up here that I've also never heard of. They're family owned because their website looks like it's from the 1990s. So anyways, I made a spreadsheet. It's on the website. You can find in the usual spot. I know you're all eating cheese. Even you lactose intolerant folk, I know you're sneaking some. It ain't hard. There's lots of options. Support small businesses. Stop giving your money to the corporate cash cows. That's right. I know. I said it would be cheesy.
That's right. Totally. And so we're starting out light there. But this is the one. This is the one. Right here. Right here. It's a little longer, but I like how he breaks it down, a little diagram. Okay, here we go.
The version of capitalism that we have today is specifically designed to take money out of our pockets and trickle it up to the richest people in the world. And we all know this, but most of us don't actually know how they do it. Like if you were asked, could you describe how they do it in a couple sentences or less? Well, today I'm going to show you how they do it and how every single time you buy a product from a mega corporation, that purchase is sending money up to the richest people in the world and you're never getting it back. And it's actually pretty simple. And yes, there will be a diagram. So let's say you have a cute little kitty and kitty cat got to go poopy. So you go to the store and you buy some tidy cat and maybe a little Friskies. And you go home and you feed kitty and you don't think any more about it. But what you didn't know is that Tidy Cat is owned by Nestle. And Friskies is also owned by Nestle, which I just found out on accident when I used these two examples. I didn't even mean to do that. That was an accident. Like you really can't make this shit up. So anyways, Nestle has a really good year and they make a ton of profits. What do they do with those profits? Well, you'd think that they would reinvest it into paying their employees and building their business bigger and researching new and better ways to keep your cat healthy, which they obviously aren't. Instead, what a corporation will do when they have a bunch of extra cash from all the profits that they've made for overcharging you for poison, they will do what's called a stock buyback. A stock buyback is when the company buys back their own shares off of the market. So they reduce the number of shares that are being traded using their own money. This was illegal until 1982 when a certain president was like, oh, yay, capitalism. And then green bars are the stock buybacks. They got more and more and more popular until 2008 crashed. But then they got more and more popular again. And they're on a tear right now. And what that does is it inflates the price of the stock because suddenly there's less of it to go around. And so it's more valuable. So everyone that holds stock of that company gets more money. And that's logical enough. It makes sense, just supply and demand. But the problem is who owns all the stock in the world. This is a graph showing how much of the stock market is owned by different wealth classes. The top 1% owns 53% of the stock market, and the bottom 50% doesn't even register on this graph. So we are mostly all this yellow line. So when stock buybacks happen, we get nothing. And the top 1% gets a lot of money. And stock buybacks have become really popular because CEOs get mostly paid in stock. And when stock buybacks were illegal, the average CEO to worker pay ratio was about 40-1, which is still really high. Nowadays, it's like 350-1 on average because they're getting paid in stock and then they're buying back that stock because they're in charge and they're inflating their own paydays. Oh, by the way, did I mention that the CEOs are allowed to write their own pay compensation packages and then they just put it to the shareholders to vote whether or not they accept it? And obviously they always accept it because guess who owns all the stock that votes?
Right.
We already covered it. They all own each other. And while we're on that topic, when you do a stock buyback of Walmart shares, for example, all these guys who own a huge amount of Walmart shares, they get a lot richer too. Everyone here gets richer, except for us. Gray for the tech industry, orange for the financial industry are two of the biggest culprits. But let's not leave out consumer discretionary, like all the things that we buy, and blue is energy. And if you thought the wealth gap between stock ownership was bad, you don't want to know about the race gap. Purple is white people. And everyone else doesn't own any stock.
Hey!
Just look at this and let it sink in for 1 second.
Yeah, let it sink in.
Holy shit. Regular people do business at a small business. That small business just takes all that money and pays it back to us, the employees, and it creates little local economic cycles. But when you start doing business with giant corporations, they start stacking that money up in their little coffers. And then that money gets paid out through stock buybacks and dividends to their executives and to their shareholders.
Okay. I got a background in teaching, right? So this to me is a great lesson. It's like put in a way that anyone can get it and get a different perspective.
Which are mostly not us. All the money that goes into giant corporations and banks and giant oil companies, it gets stacked up and sent upwards to the shareholders, which are mostly top hat people and bow tie people. It's not normal people like us with sad faces. This happens every day with every single purchase at a mega corporation. It adds to this cycle of trickle up economics. And sometimes giant corporations do this when they're not even making profit. Sometimes they do this when they have huge amounts of debt, but they still buy back their stock. Now,
one of the things he says, and it's like he has it right here in his post where he says bonus section about the jab near the end. So I'm reluctant to play the whole thing because, you know, the bots.
I'm going to try not to get banned for this last part, but it's just
so let me see. Let me
so egregious that you need to know about it. So I actually found a peer-reviewed article on PubMed about stock buybacks and their effects on wealth inequality and health outcomes for global populations. And they drop some wild statistics in here. And to all the TikTok censors and internet censors out there, this is a peer-reviewed journal, so you can go F yourself. You want to call this misinformation? You can show me a peer-reviewed journal article that calls it misinformation. U.S. listed corporations spent an estimated $9.2 trillion on stock buybacks between 2012 and 2021. And they say that share buybacks represented 55% of total shareholder returns in 2021. And now here's where it gets spicy. Pfizer, BioNTech, and
okay. I can imagine just the names of these companies is going to get me somewhere, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to link this in the description below, whether if you look up his own account, or I'll still put it in the description below so you guys can see it. And again, to give him massive credit, you gotta watch it to the end. But on the boob tube, let's just leave it right here. Now, again, going back on more positive news, I thought this was interesting. And you know, I don't have cable, so I don't know if they actually shared this on MSM. But I thought this was pretty cool. Check this out. So stick your New World Order up your arse. Anyone seen this? I just like the vibe. You can stick your coronavirus up your arse. You can stick your coronavirus up your arse. You can stick your coronavirus. Stick your coronavirus up your arse. We are the 99%. That's what I love. I want to get up and dance with you guys right now.
Together we are mighty. We are the 99%. Up your arse. You can stick your new world order up your arse. You can stick your new world order. Stick your new world order. Stick your new world order.
Yay! What'd you guys think about that? Hey! Some good energy, I think. You feel it? And then here's a little other clip I saw on X that even just for creative purposes, I think is pretty cool. You want to be entertained? Let's check this out. You see what I'm seeing? Let me know in the comments if you've already seen this, whether you're watching this live or the replay.
I want to thank you all for coming down here today. I hope it's not too hot. You can always turn the thermostat down a couple thousand degrees if anyone gets uncooked. It's kale flavor. It's my favorite. As you all know, the team and I suffered big defeat this week with the overturn of Roe v. Wade. We went out there. We gave it our all with fantastic offensive game, but ultimately the good guys and Justice Roberts came in clutch. Played a better game. So let's take some questions. You there with the teeth.
Satan, it seemed like you had it in the bag with Roe on lockdown for 50 years. What went wrong out there?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. We got to look on the bright side here. We put up some incredible numbers. Over 60 million PBAs. That's preborn babies aborted for the layperson. It's an absolute world record. I can't take all the credit though. This is a team sport, and you got an incredible team. Got Planned Parenthood, Moloch, Nancy Pelosi. They all made this possible. It didn't go the way that we wanted this time, but in the end, we still have a championship team of demons, devils, and Democrats out there, and there's always next season.
Excuse me, the devil. What are your plans for the Hell franchise going forward?
Excellent question. Obviously, this is a rebuilding year for us. We're gonna build back better, and we have some great up and coming prospects. We got Kamala Harris. You've heard her demonic cackle. Of course, it's one of the best in the game. It scares even me sometimes. Ooh. Of course, we got all the progressive Christians out there. We got the guy from Green Day. We got Pink now, and of course the Republicans with the weak defensive game. So thanks, Mitt. They let us remain dominant, killing babies for over 50 years. And let's not forget, we still have California and New York in the bag, putting up incredible numbers in the child sacrifice department.
Anything else you can tease for the fans out there?
Well, let's see. Well, while our abortion game will be down for a while, we've got some great stuff lined up. So we're going to be rolling out another Amy Schumer comedy special. That's good. We've got an even flimsier paper straw debuting next year. And we're putting more extremely long, unskippable cutscenes in video games. The ones with the 7 QT sequences where you got to mash X or you instantly die. You have to watch the whole thing again.
And see this, I saw that Lara Logan posted this. That's obviously how I watched it, because I follow her, and she goes, in case you missed it. And I feel like it's just not because I want to promote more evil negativity and bullshit. I think parody, satire is a way of coping and dealing with the situation. So, like this guy, Gaina Fauci, wrote Satan addresses Roe v. Wade, lost. This Babylon Bee skit is still one of the funniest things that I've seen in a long time. Absolutely top-notch writing and acting. And that's how I felt too. But I'm not like going, oh, this is the best ever. I'm just going, okay, I appreciate how they put this together.
That's classic. Don't count us out.
But anyway, you guys can watch the whole clip. You can look it up as I'm sharing here. But here's what I'm going to, the main reason I share that is because besides zombies, remember how I just did a reaction video to the song Zombified, right? And if you watch me and you follow me, I don't watch any movies about zombies. I mean, I think the only movie I did watch about zombies, I think it was something Z with Brad Pitt. I can't believe I can't remember the name of this movie. But the point is that I'm like, wow, all this string of zombies. Like, I already know why. But I'm like, I want to see, how is this box office hit? Like, why? I'm like, is it Brad Pitt? Is it really the movie? Like the script? The storyline? What is it? So I watched it just to judge it, not because I was going to enjoy it. I think it's World Z or something, right? Is it that? So It's funny. Rocco just mentioned, and I replied quickly. He's like, "I gotta go. I'm not here for it," and I get it because I totally agree with that. I don't like to share this type of news or stories because we're giving more attention to it. So it's kind of like doing the opposite effect when we want things to stop and to get better. But it's almost like not paying attention to the south of the border in America. Like, so if you don't pay attention, you don't talk about it, is it going to get better? Is it going to go away? Is it not going to affect us? You see what I'm saying? So there's got to be, there's always a balance to everything in life. There has to be a balance. I mean, the core reason for disease is dis-ease. So when there's harmony and balance, there's no dis-ease, imbalance. But if you have a garden and all of a sudden you have a pest, whether it's slugs, not necessarily a slug, but like some worm looking thing that eats up all your vegetables, what do you want to do? You don't want it to eat all your food, all your garden, all your vegetables. So you try to find a solution. But if you say, oh, I'm not going to look, I'm not going to talk about this pest, this worm that's eating my shit. The worm pest is going to keep on eating. So there is a level that we have to put attention to something in order to A, make more of it, or B, fix it. So yeah, the more we're putting attention on negative things, highlighting, shitty things, shitty people. Yes, it's true. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. But do you see what I mean? Where do you stop the line where you're like, well, I can't ignore this crack in my wall? Because if I do, the crack will inevitably become a dam. Whether it's a dam where it's like literally like gallons of water falling through this crack, or something else that will grow from that crack, or the structure of your building, for example, starts crumbling down because of that crack. So see what I'm saying? So we have to put some level of attention on shit we don't want to be able to be like, hey, Houston, we have a problem. You see what I mean? But I'm totally in agreement with not sharing more negative shit, because the negative, the people that are literally like the fear mongers, the grifters, the shills, the politicians. How many times a day does anybody really wake up and think, like that one part of that video, one of the videos I just shared today? How many times do you actually wake up, or that you talk to your friends, your family, your coworkers? How many times do we actually say to each other, you know that we are the 99%? Like those people in Britain singing. If we're the 99%, so how many times have you not heard and talked about for years now, the 1%, especially after 2008, the 1%, the 1%, the 1%, the 1%, the 1% that got all the power, got all the wealth, got all the money. But we're the majority. Okay, wait, let me say that one more time. We are the majority. I'm not the 1%. The only way I'm the 1% is that I'm totally unique and not a shill or grifter. That would be a whole nother 1% category. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, 99% is us, the whole world. And yet everybody's in office getting paid. I just saw a post also from Obama. And I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about a human being that I don't feel nothing good from. Got nothing to do with race, gender, age, none of that shit. It's just like, I'm sorry. You really have not come through as a really good person. Simple. So apparently Michelle, his partner, he wrote, you're one of the best people or something. But he said people, right? Not woman. Not, he said partner. My better half, he said. My better half. I mean, you can dig into that one. But because I might say you're my other half. But I don't think I would say my better half. I mean, maybe if I was in a situation, in a partnership where my half is better than me. But I don't see how that works because to me, so I'm the shithead and my partner's a good guy. Or maybe my partner is a shithead. I'm the better one. Like, can you imagine me saying that? Happy birthday to my other worst self. Are you guys, you get me when I'm getting at? Anyway, so a lot of people go out there like, oh, the beautiful Michelle. Look, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If you think that person is beautiful, whatever I don't care. But there was all these comments too and other things about like, oh, how about you look this good at 60? But this is not where I'm going at. You know what I got to? Where everyone's talking about the looks and the age and the politics. You know what I saw? Where was that picture taken? I zoom in. Looks like an island or some kind of coastal area, whether it's like Greece or Italy. Guys, look it up. I didn't look, so I don't know. But it looked it to me. And I'm going, while we're all sitting here fighting with each other and our opinions, and I can't handle this or don't say that, and then, hey, they're out there living it up, eating what they want, sleeping where they want, villas, hotels, or yachts, all that shit. Wait, I don't care that they live their best life. I care that on what money are they living off of. That's what I care. Because when my clients or whoever I work with, I want to make sure that their money spent gives them back 3 times, at least 3 times more than what they gave me. You get that? But everybody in politics, I don't care what side are you talking about. Now, if we really want to talk politics, or let's just say actually news. I mean, the kind of stuff that Joy Reid says, forget about The View. That's a whole nother bag of fucking dicks, like fucking Lewis C. Clark says, which I'm not a supporter. Just saying. I never even heard of this guy until somebody was like, man, you sound like this guy, you know, that comedian C.K. Lewis or something. I was like, I had no clue because I don't have TV. I don't watch TV. And my friend was like, oh man, you got to look it up. She literally sends me a link from YouTube on one of his comedy skits about a bag of dicks. And I definitely laughed. Then I looked into this guy. I'm like, what's he about? How have I missed this supposedly great comedian? And then I guess when I discovered him shortly after, these women are like, yeah, I used to get naked in front of us. And I'm like, oh man, please. You kind of like had me, like in a way, like you had me at hello. Because I'm like, that's kind of funny, you know. Why don't you go? Have you guys heard the story where like he's stuck in traffic or whatever? Or, I think it was just traffic. I don't know if he cut somebody off or whatever happened in the traffic. And somebody like rolls down their window and says, and again, don't quote me word for word. And he's like, yeah, man, why don't you go suck a bag of dicks? And he goes, you know, I thought about it for a second. Like, first of all, how did you come up with that? Second of all, like, how do you do that? Like, what, do you just grab one by one out of the bag and suck it? You know what I mean? So it had me rolling for sure. I'm honest. I'll tell you the truth. But I'm going, that's the thing with this shit. These people, and then not only have they made money off of our ass, then they get paid like 1,000. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Like $1 million. I don't know how much Obama's getting paid recently, but, you know, Bill Clinton, like $1 million to go speak somewhere. About what? Like, where's your legacy? Because if any of these people, whether it's the left or the right, if anybody in charge, everyone would be healthy and educated and wealthy. Isn't that what a leader does? Because that's what I do. You know, like, what's the definition of a good doctor? Somebody that can heal you. What's the definition of a good teacher? Somebody who educates you. You know what I mean? So if you're not getting anything, buying a car, why is it that a car can't last longer? It's by design. Why is it that a house doesn't last long? It's by design. You build shit with drywall. What do you expect to get? You see what I'm saying? So when our quality and when our expectations, when our level of quality goes down, well, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you could buy a pair of shoes in the US, leather, wasn't necessarily cheap, right? But before even the plastic shoes or the faux leather, you know, $80, $100, maybe on sale, you got lucky, you know, coupons, whatever. But now they're selling you plastic, fake leather, and selling it to you for $150 because there's a name brand on it. Do you see what I'm saying? Does anybody know about pantyhose and how the first pantyhose that were invented never broke? They would never get a run. And they used to do one of their ads were like, look, you can stretch, you can do whatever you want to it, and it lasts forever. Oh, but everybody, the powers that be. Well, how are we going to make money? How are we going to stay rich? Now, they sell it like, well, things have to break down. So if a light bulb can be constructed to last forever, we have to make sure that we don't make it forever, right? Because we need you to become a repeat customer. Okay. How many levels of wrong is that? We ain't going to go down that rabbit hole today. But it wasn't about just let it not last forever so people buy more of it. How about the fact that, has anyone thought of this? Has anyone ever contemplated what I'm about to say about making things not last? Because that's bad business, because you got to, you know, if you sell all your products like a refrigerator that never goes dead, right? Never breaks, then nobody's going to buy refrigerators except for like maybe new couples and, you know, younger people that want to move out, right? They can't inherit that refrigerator. I know, sounds like a stupid example, but just bear with me. So it wasn't about production and money. And they, by the way, they created all these rules to make sure that nobody can create something that lasts forever or lasted a long time. Everybody had to be in agreement. That's literally, it's a global thing. Look it up. Now, it's the fact that on that system, it was about enslavement. And to the point that the more years you buy shitty shoes, you forget what a good shoe is like. And the new people, the younger people that are buying these shoes never had a great shoe. That's all they've ever known. Like a shitty egg from a shitty mass production factory that has the chickens all stressed out. And then you have that next to a great egg from my backyard. Not that I have one now, but I buy my eggs from a local farmer that literally, like, I know the difference because I've been there. I've had it. I've seen it. I've fed chickens. I've had me personally going into the chicken, you know, coop and grabbing the eggs and cracking them for breakfast. And once you've tasted the real shit, the real good shit, I don't mean shit, but you know what I mean? You can't go back. But what I've also noticed that people that have never had a real egg, real, like, good, homegrown, stress-free, full of love, pecking at the grass, not in a cage kind of egg, they can't handle it. Some people can. Some people are like, oh my God, I never tasted an egg so good. But others are like, oh, I don't like it. It's got too much texture. The yolk is kind of spongy. You know, it's like, oh, it's because it's like full of nutrients, not just flavor, but see what I'm saying? So once you're conditioned, then you don't even know. You have no comparison. And there goes the 1%. So if everyone's conditioned to take less expect less, that it's the norm for something not to work for more than a couple years. Everyone's now getting fed up with being treated like shit. Lockdown, shut up. I want more of your money. I'm going to charge you more for everything, food, gas, whatever. And people, especially the younger generation, like, who can afford this? How can this is not sustainable. All these things. So, my greatest message of today, at least today, is we are the 99%. We have complete control and they know it, which is why they get so out of their way to make sure that we stay arguing and just in a rut, in a treadmill. So, that's my sassy ass for today. Live streaming here at the Olga S Press Show. And I will be back tomorrow, God willing, to do a live reaction. I'll be posting a vote because I got several that I want to do. But which one is going to be tomorrow? You're going to vote for it. I'll be posting it on later. And guys, I need your support. I got links in the description below. Any way you can, your donations. I do shout outs and then some. But until next time, my friends, I hope you have a fabulous day. An even more magnificent evening. And I look forward to tomorrow because I'm ready to react. Stay tuned. Make sure to hit the notification bell because we're going to be talking about, it's going to get real raw. I got a lot of things planned out for this year. We're just getting started, baby. Thank you so much for all your love and support. And I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, check out my merch store. There's all kinds of designs, hats, mugs, t-shirts. Your support is what sponsors this channel. Become a member on Locals. That is where it really is happening. That's where you're going to see all of me the way you're never going to see on other platforms. Plus, if anything happens to me, I'll be there. Either way, I think it's really super easy and user-friendly to use. It's like a coffee a month. So become a member on Locals for sure. Become part of this awesome community of real, raw, honest people. Or at least people that... Real, raw, honest people. You didn't think I was coming back? Because I actually clicked the wrong button. Much love. Don't let the bastards get you down. We are the power. Much love. Talk to you soon.